All right, the next article that I will be analyzing for you guys is English Education and Teaching Literature by Jeffrey Buchanan. And in his article, he talks about how English education majors spend the majority of their time in literature classes. And he's wondering that if in these classes their professors focus on the reading and the writing process as opposed to just the finished product. And the reason why he is bringing this up is because in practice as a teacher, you have to focus on more than just the product, but the process. It's important to teach that to students. And so he starts out by saying that basically English education majors become, or should I say, literature majors become expert readers and writers. And that when they step into the classroom, sometimes they forget that they had to learn steps to become expert readers and writers. And that oftentimes when we find that our students are just confused and they're missing the mark is because we haven't thoroughly taught them the process to becoming experts as we are. So we need to focus on teaching the process in everything we do. There's a process to reading, there's a process to writing, and that sometimes we should pick something as simple as a poem that not even we are familiar with to see that if at the end of the lesson, not only have the students grasped it, have we grasped it. And if we're still confused, then we know why our students are confused because we have not thoroughly explained the process to how to get from point A to point B to our students. So, in class, we've been talking about a lot of strategies, and this is where the strategies of literacy come to play because they're part of that process. They're that step to getting to the product and helping our students become more successful. All right, and Buchanan also makes a point of saying that why not teach the process? You're having to teach them the text anyway, so why not teach them the steps to deconstructing what they're reading, interpreting it, and making those connections to self because it's going to help them in the long run. And that this process won't be so difficult for them, and it'll be easier for them to create whatever final product that you want for them, whether it's participating in a discussion or writing an essay. If they know the process to getting to the product, that they'll engage more. They'll be more likely to understand anything that you throw at them, which is really good in this testing culture that we have because at the end of the year, we do not know what our kids are going to see on the test. We know the standards, but we don't necessarily know the literary material that they'll be reading or the informational text. But if they're very familiar with the process, then they will always be able to achieve. And even in the real world, they'll be better critical thinking because they'll have a logical process to arriving at an idea. So I just really thought that this article was really good, especially for me because I am on an untraditional track to teaching. So I was a literature major in my undergrad career, and I am now stepping into the realm of teaching and pursuing my master's in teaching and learning the strategies now. But as far as my students, I was struggling with why weren't they grasping what I was trying to teach them? And it's because I needed to sit back and teach the processes of these things more. So it was a great read and very helpful to me.